Today, I will tackle the continuing debate about Wednesday Addams and Enid Sinclair's relationship in the Netflix show Wednesday, Season 2. Welcome. This is Let's Talk. My name is Hampton Carmine, and I am an author and an avid consumer of character-driven stories. In this series, I offer my thoughts on a variety of topics related to the characters and the circumstances they find themselves in books, TV, films, or my own work. I look forward to your comments and our discussions. The relationship between Wednesday Addams and Enid Sinclair continues to be a hotly debated topic across social media, and the fan base remains split on whether it is a romantic or a platonic relationship. Some viewers still want Wednesday to either become or remain aromantic, asexual, and some viewers are uneasy with a queer relationship between them. After watching both seasons of Wednesday, it remains one of my all-time favorite shows. As a romantic, I feel I saw a romantic relationship develop between Wednesday and Enid, though understated and without explicit declarations. But for this discussion, same as for Season 1, I will concentrate on what was actually presented on the screen, explicitly or with subtle hints. Before we begin, let me lay some groundwork. I am not a therapist. These are my personal thoughts and feelings, admittedly bolstered by many years of study in psychology. And I am not affiliated in any way with the Wednesday series or Netflix. Let's begin. I used the same assumptions for Season 2 as Season 1. 1. What we see on the screen is intentional. Explicit scenes, dialogue, and subtle hints. 2. Wednesday's statement about never falling in love is foreshadowing. 3. Wednesday and Enid are both about 17 and more adult. 4. Relationships are driven by attraction, personality, and circumstances. We left them at the end of Season 1 with a deep but undeclared relationship best described as best friends, but with the promise of more. I will begin with their changing personalities and circumstances. Wednesday returns to school with only a relationship with Enid, and despite her later claim of cocooning and not evolving, Wednesday is more emotionally open, especially with Enid. Her hair is less severe, and she's more expressive, particularly with her eyes. She remains aloof, still presenting a cold and distant affect to all but Enid, where she is more expressive and engaging, though still characteristically Wednesday. She continues to have a difficult relationship with her mother and continues to keep secrets, some from everyone. That includes the fact she has brought or forced her psychic visions into control, but is crying black tears from the effort. This represents a significant loss of control, and she's worried, leaving her vulnerable, which is a feeling she hates with a passion. Enid returns with an unresolved relationship with Ajax, and since wolfing out, Enid is more integrated with her pack and remains effervescent and cheerful. Her newfound confidence allowed her to expand her exploration of relationships as she searches for that special someone. She shows more leadership in her pack and holds her own in conversations with Wednesday, while continuing to show empathy and compassion to anyone. In addition, she has changed her appearance, sporting shorter and more colorful hair with bangs and more vibrant fingernail colors
with one black nail on each hand. Her school uniform is now different than any other female student, with a shorter skirt, a lower neckline, and a waist-length jacket, all with black accessories. The overall effect makes her uniform appear much more black and white. I do see this as Enid expressing her newfound confidence, but also as emulating aspects of Wednesday's look: bangs, nails, and coloring. Now let's see how their relationship fared as school began in season 2. Wednesday walked into their shared room and was shocked at Enid's closeness with her pack and the werewolf chaos. But she appealed to Enid rather than becoming angry, who then cleared the room with a simple statement, showing a new confidence and leadership. While sharing their plans for the upcoming school year, they exchanged gifts. Enid gave Wednesday a black and white werewolf t-shirt that symbolically included her in her pack. Wednesday gave Enid her trophy doll from her serial killer adventure, a deeply meaningful gift as seen from Wednesday's facial expression, a gift that included Enid in her dark pursuits. As they unpacked, they continued to reestablish that closeness that they had achieved at the end of season 1. Wednesday voluntarily listens to Enid's dating problems with Ajax and Bruno, a gift in and of itself, especially since Wednesday's first expression on seeing Bruno was very disapproving, possibly even jealous. Wednesday even hands her precious manuscript to Enid, and they openly discuss it. I never saw anybody hold that manuscript before. Their BFF relationship was fully reestablished by the end of episode 1, and I think the writers intentionally and carefully kept it that way. In Wednesday's distress after the pyre, she collapses in front of Enid with a vision of Enid's death and it being her fault. Psychologically, this was a manifestation of her worst fear, losing her new BFF and the devastation she would feel. She is so desperate, she seeks help from her mother, expressing her concern, but hiding the details from everyone else, especially Enid. That desperation weakens her control, and she begins to unravel. Before I continue, I think we can all agree that Enid and Wednesday love each other. What we have all been discussing and postulating about is what kind of love they share. The psychologist Robert Sternberg's triangular theory of love explains that love is based on 3 different scales: intimacy, passion, and commitment. Wednesday and Enid have clearly developed a deep emotional attachment, passion, and a strong commitment to each other. But they have not entered into intimacy other than that season 1 hug and a few random touches in season 2. Though I blanch at the terms Sternberg uses for the types of love, he calls love that combines passion and commitment as fatuous love, while romantic love combines passion and intimacy. So, by this definition, they are not in a romance. Not yet. So, let's see where the rest of the season takes us. During the remainder of part 1 of season 2, the school intrigues escalate, further incrementing and obscuring the possible causes of Enid's envisioned death. Wednesday's desperation begins to take a toll on her, but she does not seek help. She begins to withdraw from her family, her few friends, and especially Enid. She hyper-focuses on solving the various mysteries, trying to discover if Enid's impending death is associated. Despite the escalating tensions between them, Enid makes the first public declaration of how much Wednesday means to her, saying it to Bruno, of all people. Even though Wednesday is the tunnel at the end of my light, I can't imagine my life without her in it. Wednesday's desperation to save Enid drives her deeper into herself, demonstrating no trust in her family or Enid, as she becomes convinced that Tyler and Willow Hill are somehow related to Enid's death. Enid begins to feel left out and undervalued by her supposedly BFF, and even becomes jealous of Agnes, who in truth is just being used by an increasingly unraveled Wednesday. While planning a foray into the psychiatric facility, Wednesday and Enid begin to snipe at each other in front of Agnes, causing Enid, nearing tears, to ask Wednesday, "Do you even want to be my friend anymore?" A visibly hurt Wednesday replied with an unusually plaintive voice, "That has never been in question." Desperation, being excluded, and the keeping of secrets are tearing their relationship apart. Then, stemming from Wednesday's desperation over Enid, her need for control, and her poor skills at teamwork, everything went wrong. Wednesday became trapped by Tyler in his hide form and froze, unable to move. She was struck and thrown from a second-story window, cut, bloodied, and near death. Part 2 begins with an unchanged Wednesday waking from a coma and returning to school where a worried Enid waits. Wednesday immediately tries to take charge again, ordering Enid to pack up and leave school until Tyler is caught. Offended that Wednesday thinks she's weak and can't fight her own battles, Enid stands up to her, tit for tat. Then Wednesday intervenes in Enid's independent action with the nightshades to fight Tyler, and a hurt Enid reluctantly backs down. The plan fails, and Tyler escapes. Wednesday's agitated, but Enid is hurt by Wednesday's lack of faith in her. They really argue, with anger, insulting rhetoric, as only BFFs and sisters can. Wednesday storms from the room despite her curfew, leaving Enid fuming and hurt. Enid, as angry as she has been so far, leaves to bring Wednesday back. Their relationship has reached a turning point and seems doomed without cosmic intervention, like a body swap curse. During a body swap curse, they gain a better understanding of each other, healing their current tiff and cementing their bond by allowing each to see the other's strengths and weaknesses. As Wednesday confesses to Enid, she openly declares her real commitment to her for the first time, saying, "I know you think that being an alpha will mean you'll be alone. I won't let that happen." After they were back in their own bodies, Wednesday visits the Lupin cages to keep Enid company. I noticed that Enid was quieter than usual, obviously distressed over something. And in a moment of compassion, Wednesday asks, "What's wrong, Enid?" Enid explains about the permanence of the alpha state, and then, despite her fear of a dismissive Wednesday comment, she declares the depth of her feelings for her.
Capri said I didn't have to face this alpha business on my own, that my strength is in my pack. But the truth is, you are my pack, Wednesday.
You are my pack, Wednesday. That's love from a werewolf. Notice Wednesday's expression move from fear for Enid to the realization of the love she had just been gifted.
If I wolfed out and couldn't, change back, would you come and find me?
I have no problem hunting you down.
I have no problem hunting you down. That's love from Wednesday. That conversation confirmed the passionate depth of their relationship and their commitment to each other. This depth was put to the test when Enid and Agnes were trying to unbury Wednesday, and Enid had to cry out in anguish, "I can't let her die." Enid forced a werewolf transformation under the full moon to gain the strength to save Wednesday, knowingly and willingly sacrificing her humanity. After Wednesday realized what had happened, she and Enid shared an emotional eye-to-eye gaze just before Enid runs off. In a desperate, cracking voice, Wednesday commands Agnes to go track her now. To summarize, I feel the show clearly portrayed the development of a deep, passionate, and committed bond between them that we can all agree is love. And now, more mature and emotionally ready, they could share a romantic intimacy. But considering their personalities, what would that look like? Holding hands and kissing by the fireplace, whispering sweet nothings? Probably not. Being in a romance is loving the person enough not to ask them to become somebody else, and being able to move towards them while still not losing oneself. In their case, we are probably talking about holding hands while running from a serial killer or a hide. Enid would be hollering about crazy, stupid ideas, and Wednesday would be grinning and making caustic comments about death. But it would be romance for them. Will they be able to act upon their love in season 3? We and they are at the mercy of the writers and the showrunners. But I have a feeling that only an act of intimacy, like a hug, a kiss, and a declaration of love, will bring Enid back into human form. Thank you for listening. If you found my comments interesting and wish to contribute to this discussion, please subscribe, like the video, and comment.